What's up, guys? So, I don't remember if I had this draped up in here when I left off the other night, but this is our new harness that I already dissected and all that. And when I had to put it back in the bucket to get it out of the way, I kind of forgot to kind of secure a couple sections to keep it from completely rat's nesting. I'm going to take a good hard look at it today and see if I really think I can do it in a timely manner, because it's crunch time now. I've got about a week and a half to get the truck running and driving so I can go get the Title 42 done. And the reason I have to do that is because I don't remember if I said or not, this truck requires a serial inspection, which basically means when I go to get the title for it with the Title 42 and register it, I actually have to take the vehicle itself up there so they can verify that the VIN on the vehicle is the same as the VIN on the paperwork I'm trying to register. So that sucks for us because I didn't really plan on having the truck running this fast. Normally Title 42s here in Oklahoma take about 90 days. This one, the company I use this time, they got it to me in like 6 weeks. So I'm about a month short, which I feel like if I had another month that I would be A1 on perfect schedule. So y'all can say, Matt, just put it on a trailer and take it up there. Okay, that is my last option. I am too proud to want to trailer this up there. We're this close and I enjoy a challenge, so I'm gonna do everything I can to make it run and be in driving condition to drive it to the tag agency that's like 7 miles away. So we're gonna go for it. James was talking about how, you know, we set this up here and I was like, damn, I got some work to do on that. James was like, dude, take the harness off of the other junk motor, which I say it's a junk motor. It runs. It's just an extra motor. He's like, dude, take the harness off of here. You know it works. Plug it in to this motor for now. Set the PCM up here like you're supposed to. Run your power like you're supposed to. And just make it work right there. So I'm going to kind of fiddle today and really try to lay my dissected harness out and see if I can't kind of get a grip of it today in a reasonable amount of time. If I can, then I'm going to run with it. If I can't, then I'm just going to cut my losses on it. I'll still use it later on, but for now, to save time to get the truck running, I'll just slap this in here, and all I got to do is plug this one in. This one I still got to, all these with the ECM in there, I've got to take all these leads, because remember the ECM is supposed to be right here in a 99 to 06, and then the fuse block's here. In this truck, the fuse block is here, but we're going to run the PCM inside the dash. So instead of our power leads just having to go from here to here, now our power leads have to go from here to here, which is fine. A lot of these will get simplified and combine, like the injectors are combined into one wire for each side instead of 4 for one side and 4 for the other. Other things will simplify together to where basically I only have 4 switch hot wires going over here. That's easy, but I'm gonna lay it out because a lot of the routing's different. I mentioned this before, how the main harness starts factory, it starts here and goes across and then splits. So basically everything I'm doing is backwards. My driver's side leads for the injectors and coils run out like right here. So I have to try to massage them through the loom and try to get it around to where it'll reach. If it won't, I have to cut it and extend it, solder it. That's gonna take time. That's where James came in and said, man, if it's gonna take too long, you might not want to do that. You might want to just take this harness that already we know works, do a little quick mount for the ECM right here for now, slap it in there, get it running, and then pretty it up later. So that's going to be the main thing of what I do today. I did get the injector and fuel rails out. I might go ahead and set those up here while I'm doing this, because that's going to kind of, if I use this harness, it's going to be like a tuck harness. So I'm going to probably set the fuel rails and injectors up here to kind of make sure I got my wire routing decent and everything's going to reach and look good. So here we go. Alright, so I spent a lot of time wrestling and yeah, I'm about wore out for today. It's Sunday. I'm gonna grill for a little bit, get some burgers cooking, and I think we're gonna fry some squash. You know, little Sunday grill sesh. So I'm gonna end it off. Um, Pick this back up tomorrow. I've got it pretty well figured out. I've got my PCM connectors going through the hole. The main thing I'm seeing, I got my passenger side injectors and coil here, and you see I got plenty of room on those because they actually clip in right here. My driver's side is where I'm having an issue. I went ahead and pulled my switch hots out of the way because, like I said, for my switch hot loom, it's closer to the PCM connectors, and they're actually going to be over here. So I pulled those through just to make that closer for when I do splice those up, which I'll probably splice it back here. But anyways, my main issue I'm seeing is all my injectors, driver side stuff, and my coil plug is kind of short. And then the other big one is, I know this is gonna be hard for a lot of y'all, but this is all my throttle body stuff. So this has to end up clipping in right here. And as you can see, that's about all I got. And that's with me running it back here, and it's tight, and I want it to be a little looser. So I think what I'm gonna have to do, which is okay with me, all these wires right here, I'm gonna go through my extra harnesses over there, and I'm gonna extend this. Because my other option would be to take the leads from this harness and basically cut them. That way I had an extended piece of it already ready to go, and I didn't have to solder both ends. But instead of trashing another harness, I think I'm just going to do this one. I don't know yet, 100% sure. But basically I've got to take all this right here and extend it so it's comfortable. And then this has too much, but I'll just wad it up. I'm not going to cut it and make it shorter. I'll just wad it up. This stuff was AC, I think. The overflow OBD or O2 sensor for the passenger side, and then the mass airflow sensor, which I think our intake's going to be over here, so that might run around. But that's got a ton of wire, so I can pull it over. Main things to know that I accomplished today is I'm gonna go ahead and go with this harness, because basically it's gonna be as much work as that one, because we cut, I remember the safety neutral switch, they did the thing where they didn't heat it up with the hot gun to get the glue undone so they could pull the connectors out of the safety neutral switch, and we ended up cutting them off because where it was under the truck for us to pull that motor and transmission out, we couldn't get to it. We couldn't do it right, so we just cut it. So I'd have to solder the ones off of this harness, cut them back off, and solder them onto that just to use that temporarily, and then cut them back off, solder them back onto here. I'm not doing that. So I've just got to extend the driver's side stuff, and then all of this, so this, where this ends right here, this goes to transmission. Where all this comes up in loops right here, that's all extra, because all that does is come up and loop right here and go over there. So the only thing that's holding me up from pulling that slack through there is the driver's side stuff is really tight. So I'm just going to cut those, extend them to where they're comfortable, and then once I get those comfortable, I'll start pulling some more stuff inside the cab, pull some of this slack out, and then see where we're at there. Keep pulling, adjusting, going back and forth. I should be able to make a pretty good dent on that tomorrow after work, so we'll see how that goes. It seemed really overwhelming at first, but now that I kind of took a deep breath and laid it out and just took a minute looking at it, I think we can get it done. So yeah, I'm gonna pick it back up tomorrow. Peace. Alright guys, it's been a couple nights. I skipped a day. Had some bad scheduling at work, we'll just call it that. I got stuck at work and basically got home at 11 o'clock last night, so that didn't work out. But I got to work almost my normal shift today, so I'm home. It's like 7:30, something like that. It actually might be later than that now. I don't know what time it is. I don't care. I'm going to get back into this. I'm going to try to not blabber too much for you guys and just kind of get to the meat and potatoes. Might not be detailed enough for some people, but I'm going to cover the important points of what I need to have done, and then I'm going to show you after it's done. I'm not going to sit here and time lapse 4 hours. No, we're not doing that. So what I have to do tonight is what I'm going to try to, well, I'll say the next step in this harness is, I kind of stepped away from it for a couple days and I was thinking about it the whole time, and I got an idea. This is empty looming, so don't mind that. All right, so the main harness, the computer connectors are inside this hole. And then I have all my loose ends that went to like sensor stuff and all that for dash stuff, which now won't be used. I got to get all that straightened out. And then again, we've got all our power leads here that will have to end up over here, and the 95's harness, which goes here. It's just slopped in there right now, so don't mind that. All right, so what we got is, I dropped the transmission lead. I already loomed it up. I've got it down there about where it needs to be, and this is that coming up, all this main stuff here, and then it basically loops. So all of this right here is excess. Way excess. Like this passenger side, this is the passenger side injectors and coils, and the map sensor, which goes here, and then the injectors are here, 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 and here. So basically all this is, as you can see, way too long. So the only thing holding me up is the only parts of this harness that come over here, and besides the coolant sensor plug, it goes right here. So I'll have to bring that one around, but I think it had enough slack, and if it don't, it's only 2 wires, and I'm totally down with splicing 2 wires and making them longer. So anyways, what I've got is the only parts of the loom that come over to the driver's side of the motor from the computer are the throttle body connectors and the driver's side injectors and the driver's side coil plug, which is right here, which I could have over there. The only thing binding it up from being over here with the rest of them is this ground, which is ran through the loom into a big splice. So what I'm going to do is cut that and then get it to where I can manipulate it over, because I've got to extend all this other stuff anyway, so I'll just extend that ground later on. But what I'm going to do right here first is I'm going to, risky business. The thing that sucks about these injector leads is, I thought I was going to be identified. I finally identified which ones was, because they're not numbered at all. So that sucks. So I basically laid it to where it relaxed the way it was supposed to be, and I figured out that this lead one, this is supposed to be the front one. Basically it's backwards, because the harness is, like I've said before, is supposed to go this way, so they're backwards. See, this one would be the front one. See how this one has the looming on it where it would relax farther in the line? This is hard to do. It's actually, this front one's supposed to be farther back, but that one would relax there. This one relaxes next, and then this one's the final one. Alright, so a little update. I went and took some notes of what colors wires I need to extend. I actually pulled all the slack out. You can see it looks a little better right here. I think I'm going to follow a path right here along the ridge, that same level of the firewall there. And everything else works good. I made a mark right here of tape and put main on it, and then put a number 1, and then I put a number 1 right there on the firewall. Can't really get the camera in there, but I want this tape line to line up right there. So I set that point of distance of slack, so I'm going to go from there. I've got everything I need to the driver's side right here, and then what we're going to do is I measured and then took notes of all the colored wires that are in all this stuff, besides the pink, of course. And then I took a little measurement with a piece of wire, and what I'm going to do is have it go basically like this number 1 that I marked. I'm going to have it go pretty much in a straight line, maybe in this crack, probably not. And then basically right here where it meets this edge, I'll have the injector and coil stuff come straight across right here. So I took a piece of wire right here and I measured from where our harness ends to where we need to be. That was about 31 inches. Got all my colors. I took in our bins of wires and I cut, these were the computer leads for the 95 harness. So I'm taking these and I'm gonna find all the color wires that I need. That's about 30 inches or so. Cut the colors I need, and then we're gonna go to town doing some soldering and splicing. You know we love soldering and splicing, so here we go. All right, so a little update. It's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours. This stuff is ultra time consuming, but I got my coil lead extended here. I think the solders, yeah, the solders are right here. So from here to about in here is all new wire. So I had to extend the coil plug about that much, and that goes right here. And then my injector wires, I got those pieces added in. You can see the solders there. Did pretty good on those. After I got rolling, it came back to me. I always suck with soldering. Okay, my camera's being very weird. I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, so a little update for you guys. I got my coil plug extended. I know this is hard for a lot of you to follow, but basically right in here is where the solder joint is, and then I added all of this wire to about this point here. So I added a good 30 inches or so of wire, and then I kind of draped it over there where I left my, this is just a switch hot and a ground. This little joint right here, basically the wire loom is going to come in from here, and then I'm going to have a split right here. Where it comes up here, I left the hot and the ground out because the ground will splice back in right there, and then the hot will come straight over here to this stuff. So I'm going to leave those out right there. And then I got my injectors. All those leads are extended the same 30 inches so that they could reach up here. I kind of ran out of time. This took me about 2 hours. It's very time consuming soldering. Doing clean solders takes freaking forever, and I have a crappy soldering iron and crappy solder, so it gets the job done though. I gotta pick back up tomorrow whenever I get time. If I get called into work, who knows. We'll just leave it at when y'all pick this back up. I'm gonna go back at it with the throttle body. These two are throttle body, and this is the alternator plug here, which funny enough, it's only one wire. I thought that was weird. But anyways, I got to add quite a bit extra to those. I only did 30 inches on the coil and injector stuff, but I stretched my ruler wire out, and this was where the coil wire is extended. So from here to this end right here, I need that much more, which I looked through my wire and I kind of don't have wire that long, so I'm gonna have to get creative on that, but I can do that no problemo. But anyways guys, that's where I'm gonna leave it all for tonight. I pulled all the slack out of the harness, and I don't know if y'all paid attention earlier, but quite a bit of the slack is out of it. I got rid of the loop of wire that was here, and then all this passenger side stuff will get, I'll basically do a fold right here and make that bundle up like that right there. That'll get rid of that mess. This OBD2 sensor, it'll go down right there off that header, so that wire will go back that way. This is the mass airflow sensor plug. It's going to be over here, so that's going to get pulled back through and snaked real sneaky like through here somewhere. And then this other stuff was the radiator overflow tank, I'm assuming. So I think it went somewhere over here on the parts truck, which the only things over here is like the coolant overflow tank and all that. So I think that's a low coolant sensor or shit, whatever. I'm gonna get these throttle body things extended, and then I think I'm gonna start trying to set this back in its home where it goes and seeing where we're meeting up. And then other than that, once I get the extension done, I can start looming that back together, get these dropped where they're supposed to go, get those loomed back together. This harness will be coming together pretty quickly. I know it's hard for a lot of you to envision wiring. A lot of people struggle with wiring. But I'll say I'm at least 50% way done with the LS harness. So we're getting real close to the point of when I make the final extension, then I just have to kind of lay it out and see where it lays. And then I can start kind of making little looms here and there, little bunches. And then once I get that done where I know where it's going to be formed, I can pull it all out and then loom it all together and make it look real clean. Then after that, and after getting the 95's power harness put back in, I've got to come back in. Never mind this. Don't pay attention to that. I've got to stay. Stupid. My luck. I'm out of luck for the night. All these extra wires I have tagged here, I'm going to have to thumb through those. Because everything AC is going to be set aside for now because we hit that speed bump. And anything to do... We kept a lot of the cluster sensor wires. All those are gone now, so I'll have to set those aside and cap them or something so they can't get grounded out and make weird shit happen. But yeah, we're moving along. This video, I know a lot of people, this video is gonna flop, I already know it, but for the 3 nerds that are into wiring, this one's for y'all, because y'all have the vision like me of seeing how this shit has to... The process sucks on wiring. If y'all want to see more up-to-date little posts here and there, follow my Snapchat and my Instagram. And I'm also, another big thing, I'm sitting down with a graphics guy next week about merch. So it's a big step, but I feel like it's needed. A lot of people are asking about shirts and stickers and all that, so I guess it's time to get that ball rolling. So y'all look forward to that. Y'all know it's Saturday, so James is gonna come over and we're gonna get a lot of shit done. We're gonna get some pit bike stuff done. We're gonna get some stuff on the truck done. We're gonna do it all, baby. So y'all stick around, bear with me. Well, I work at FedEx, so y'all know, and our schedules are ridiculous right now. So next week we're starting a new schedule and things should get a little more regular. So I should get back on my at least 3 times a week posting. We'll see how that goes. So other than that, y'all stay tuned, bear with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.